story time class. So I'm not really sure. I gotta get consent. All right, there it is. Always ask for consent, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you say? You know what I'm eating. That's what it says right here. Calm down.
Okay.
Okay.
Read your story.
I don't have a story.
Okay.
All right, guys. Welcome. This is welcome to our class. Today I'll be your bro.
4 years.
Again, you never actually done a story. As you guys know, I'm karaoke or the music guy, or I'm just an helper. I'll help the others. So this will be a first piece. So we are doing story time. But I was trying to set up that I could have like some stories slideshow. But do y'all want to charge $6? I was look on here to see if I could find a book that might have a slideshow. You know, watch from the screen and follow along. There isn't. And then I look in here to see if I can find any with pictures and stuff I can show you guys, but there isn't any. So how do you say? So I was asking, any type of stories you guys like to go over, or do you guys? Because I know Cliff, you guys said earlier you wanted to hear a certain story, right?
Oh, what story?
You had a story earlier.
What story are you talking about?
I
I don't remember.
Any story. You don't remember? All right, guys. Whatever, but since we're going to start getting ready, hopefully, I just get. You guys remember? The class program?
What? Lance.
Do you guys remember that?
Oh.
Yeah, what were the classes we had? We had PE class. We had safety class. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
We used to have
Self-advocacy.
pre-employment.
ILS.
Communication.
And self-advocacy.
And we had right? Self-advocacy. That one was a big one, right? That was very important. What act did we used to talk about, guys? You guys remember the act? What was the act that we always used to discuss?
Be nice to people. Letterman Act. Or
the Lantern-Man Act. So I have a book here of the
Right and Wrong Act.
Book. We used to go over it. It's been a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of go over it, guys, because you know it's been a while.
There was a law passed in 1969 that tells us about rights. Rights are and
no. All right, guys.
How
We're
to
gonna
get
because again, we want to go ahead and start, refreshing up, getting used to the old routine. Hopefully, if everything goes well. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right, you guys. So let's go over that real quick right now, and then we have some bonus time. We'll do some another story or something. If you guys want to tell a story, but let's go over the Lantern-Man Act, okay, you guys? So again, does anybody remember what the Lantern-Man Act says?
I do.
What is it?
It's a California state law that gives us rights and tells us how we can make sure we get our rights.
It says families get the services and supports they need to live like people who don't have disabilities, right?
Yes.
So everyone deserves rights, right? Not just without disabilities.
Right and Wrong Act.
We all deserve the right.
He's putting stuff back from winter.
Yes, exactly. So again, this is a very important because again, this unfortunately, and it's sad to say, and I don't want to like point anybody down, but back in the day, people didn't have rights, right? People with disabilities didn't have people with people that race, people with different religions. You know, not a lot of not a lot of
Cool down a little bit now. Yeah.
what was seemed normal here in this country. And so, do you guys remember, right, the civil rights movement? So we had the civil rights movement. We had, what was the other one?
Gay rights movement.
We have, right, so we're having the gay rights movement, right? That one's actually more recent, right? Again, we're starting to see people are having more rights, right? So that's a good thing, right? Because everybody should be treated fairly with respect and with the same rights as everyone else, right, you guys? Right. So again, what the Lantern Act did was enable right disabilities, because again, unfortunately, back then, people with disabilities weren't seen as equal, right? Because again, they were seen out of the norm of what was considered normal here in this country. I mean,
that's especially true in the 50s.
Especially true in the 50s, right? I mean, that was a very, very, very hard year for. It was a hard year, but a good year as well, right? Because it progressed to a lot of.
It was a very bad era in American history.
Yeah,
not only were people with disabilities treated with respect, but racism was still widely accepted. Not only accepted, but embraced.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, so again, it was a very bad time. With the bad along came the good, right? Which that enabled for a lot of these movements to kind of have a head start, right, you guys? So again, sometimes for something good to happen, something bad has to happen, right? So again, so that era allowed a lot of, again, these civil rights movements to begin, right? Rest of the way. So the very first big one was the civil rights movement, which again was dealing with race, right? This is post America, where there was slavery was still just a couple of 100 years ago, right? So coming off that, yes. And so again, people, African Americans weren't seen as, equal to the other Americans.
During World War II, Japanese Americans were sent to internment camps. They were
that's right.
Bad.
Why that
Not
was?
as bad, but pretty bad during World War II. Japanese Americans being put in internment camps.
Do you remember why that was, Clifford?
Because of Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, right? So who do you guys remember who bombed Pearl Harbor?
The Japanese.
And at that time, the Japanese, there was a lot of Japanese people living in California, in this state actually. And so paranoia was going around that, oh my goodness, got done. So must be, what's the correct? I don't want to say it wasn't terrorists, it was spies. They were spies, right? So they used to think that just because a group of attack here during that era, a lot of Americans became paranoid. And what happened? They put them in camp. Spying on the country that something bad was going to happen if they weren't arrested, right? So again, that's discrimination. Just because somebody from the same group that you are from does something bad does not mean that you are bad as well, right? Does not mean that person that does
in some ways we're repeating some of that history. Not as bad as we used to. After 9/11, after 9/11, there was a lot of hate crimes committed against Arab Americans and even some Hindus and other religions too.
Right, that was more recent. That was why, because of the whole 9/11, right?
That was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago. Years ago, right?
So September it'll be 20 years.
So again, we kind of have like a similar. We've had a similar thing going on recent again with that. People thought that just because somebody was, from not true, right? It is not right to put everybody in the same group of people, right? I mean, everybody. I mean, it's sad to say, but yes, there is bad people in every type of group of people, but does not mean that everybody is bad. Right? That group is bad, right?
Harry makes a session,
yeah.
I used to be very, very negative towards all conservative Christians, even though not all of them were bad.
Right, exactly. You know, so that
I used to demonize all conservative Christians.
Exactly. We shouldn't demonize all people just because a certain amount of group of people or something better, right, you guys? It's not fair to do that. It's not fair to everybody that is from the same group just because of something that someone did, right?
Right.
And again, so
in recent years, I've gotten better.
Right, exactly. It's gotten a lot better, right? So again, why is that? Because of education, right? Where nowadays we have more education, or you know, a lot of the stigmas, a lot of the controversies, a lot of the
stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. So education is key, right? So that's why we wanna learn as much as we can, you know, because just because something on Facebook or something does not make it true, right, you guys?
Right.
Something does not make something fat, right, you guys? So it all boils
down. And here's another example of hate. After Israel and Palestinians got into conflict in Gaza, there was a lot of anti-Semitism, not only in the Middle East, but in Europe and even here in America. There was a lot of anti-Semitism towards Jews because of what Israel was doing wrong.
Right, and that was just recent, right? That was
only a matter of a month ago or weeks ago.
Right, when Palestine. So that's just another example of, again, prejudice against a group of people that, you know, just because the group, certain amount of people in that group did something bad does not make them all bad, right?
Right.
Again, and so, I mean, just with like we also have just recent with all the hate crimes, right? Well, Asian descent are being attacked just because they assume that
what China did.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they assume they're from China, you know, and even though
that's not right,
they are from China.
It's not right.
It's nobody's fault, right?
No.
It happened.
No, it's not.
It happened.
What's up? Right, you guys? You guys agree?
It happened.
Actually, China, I'm not sure if China didn't do it by accident, or not. I don't know.
Right.
But hating all Asian Americans is wrong anyway.
Exactly. It's just hating somebody who had nothing to do with, you know, I mean, they live over here, you know, like, you know, it all boils down to, you know, again, treating everybody with the same rights, just the same as. So again, so I know we got a little off topic here, but it really
sorry.
Same thing, right, with the Lantern Man, right? So again,
right. I am so sorry about that.
Oh no! This all leads to the same point. So it's great to have this discussion, guys. It's great for having this, you know, right now, especially during nowadays when there seems like there's conflict about everything. Nowadays, it seems, you know, and so it's a good thing that we're bringing all these things up because it all boils down to the same thing, right? Having the same, you know, everybody deserves rights and the same treatment as just anybody else, right, you guys? And so again, the Lantern Man Act.
I can name a few of the rights we have.
What's up, buddy?
I can list some of the rights we have and how I can list some of the rights we have.
From the Lantern Man Act?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys want to take turns? Go ahead, Cliff. Name one of them. What's one of the rights of the Lantern Man Act?
You have the right to take part in any religion or no religion if you want.
That's right. Yep, that's one of them. What's another one?
Another one I think is the right to keep your own stuff and read what you want.
That's right, right? You all have the right to use it as well, right? You guys just as anybody else does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Anybody else besides Cliff want to name one?
Mm-hmm. You have every right. You have every right to speak up.
Yes. You have every right to speak up or for somebody else, right? If you see something, if you see some wrongdoing, right?
Yeah.
Right, you guys? Do you guys have another one? There's plenty of them.
You got a right to say yes or no.
Yes, exactly. You have the right to say yes or no, right? Whatever it is, whatever request it is. If I came up to you and I tell you, oh, you're gonna wear this today, just because I said it, does that make it right?
No.
No.
Yes or no, right?
No.
If I ask you, do you want juice? Do you want a soda? Do you have a right to choose that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. You have every absolute right to do that. Oh,
Yes.
if I ask you what, I don't know, like if I ask you something like what would you like to eat, right? If you have the able to choose for yourself, should you be allowed to choose for yourself?
Yeah.
Right, you guys. So
Yes.
it's funny because I mean all the rights are rights that, you know, again, that everybody should have, you know, but unfortunately with the discrimination that used to go on, it had to become law, right? So,
Yes.
that's what led us to the Lanterman Act, which again, as you said, 1969 was when the Lanterman Act first got instilled by California state law, right? Let me see.
Right.
Going to actually, we've actually
what's good? Chicken shit in it.
that we all are aware of. And there might have been updates, you know, I know this might be an older book, but there might have been updates, but again, we're just keeping it to what this is. Oh, this is from 2000. This is 21 years ago. So a lot of things might have changed, but again, it all bears down to the same, right? We all deserve the same rights, the same, everybody else, right?
Hero?
Right.
I'm gonna let you guys go for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely, Clifford. Thank you for participating. We appreciate it. Thank you for helping us out.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you, everybody.
See you tomorrow, Cliff.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Cliff. We've had a lot of we've had a question trying to go over this thing to see if there's anything else that we'd have missed. Is there anything that we missed, you guys? Have you missed anything?
No.
Let me give me 1 second, buddies. I'm trying to see. It's been a while for me too, but again, it's good to have a refresher, right?
He's dropping his car that his car to go to the street and positive look at you. What is this? It's nothing.
Sorry,
What's up, here?
I'm having a hard time hearing, but again, you guys, kind of just going to refresher over this. It's good to remember this, right? It's good to know this stuff, right? So that way, when somebody comes up to you and starts trying to make decisions for you, that you can tell them otherwise, right?
Ooh, he's having a good time back here.
What is it?
Because I can listen to anything.
Yes, you are. You're listening to your story time. The story about.
How do you say? So again, you guys, it all bears down to treating everybody with respect. Everybody.
Yes.
I was actually gonna ask you guys. I don't know if it probably be a little too personal, but I was gonna ask you guys if you guys have ever had a situation where you guys have had to kind of explain this to somebody. Like if you had some type of situation where somebody came up to you, what you're supposed to be doing, or kind of.
Yes, people used to be rude. Old people.
I was gonna ask you guys if you guys have stories you guys wanted to share about that. Have you guys ever been into a
Sometimes strangers stare at me, but I smile.
Sometimes people try to stare at me.
Right.
What do you say?
Sometimes people do that.
Yeah, we might.
Some
some people
Oh,
for
I'm sorry.
Okay.
you don't
sorry.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm glad you said.
you know that hey, I'm just stuff, you know.
What's up, dude? What's up, dude?
Yeah.
What's up, baby? Good to see you in class. I missed you this morning.
I know.
There it is. There it is.
You haven't seen me, huh?
No, not today. We did a painting,
Huh?
but it's okay. We'll have another one soon. But again,
What'd
you
you
get
say?
pressure. The Lantern Act, again, very important ball, you know, which again, sad to say, but it had to happen because unfortunately of discrimination that facing guys. Again, it all bears down to again, treating everybody with respect, treating the same way that you'd like to be treated, and at the same time, how do you say, know that that other person has the same rights as well, right, you guys? Because prejudice, not just here in this country, but the world.
Real?
Yeah. So again, that's and again, everybody, if you guys any cool stories you guys want to share about, you know, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any stories.
Again, we're hoping. Again, we're kind of getting things rolling here. Hopefully, we'll be able to all be back. Well, again, or